Greetings everyone, welcome back to Lemex Effects. So this video I recorded twice. One was 30 minutes long, the other was 20 minutes long. This time, and I'm going to tell you why these videos are so long. What happens is, a lot of times Christians don't know the Bible. So what happens is when I give them scriptures for whatever it is I see in these video games, they are quick to argue because they don't know anything. And they normally don't come back when I show them that they're wrong. So what happens is I a lot of times put what the Christians would normally want to say in my video so I can outright argue against it and just dead that thought immediately before the person can actually comment on it. This time, I'm not going to do that. For now, if you look in the comments and you see someone saying, this person is saying, oh, Lemex Effects is wrong, he gave bad scriptures and Jesus Christ doesn't believe that. If you want to believe that person, I'm going to allow you to just fall to that. So what are we doing today? Today we're looking for the scriptures in the Black Oni. So we're going to make this quick. We're just going to list some attributes to the Black Oni, and we're just going to show how it's scriptural, and maybe at the end of the video I'll explain how it connects to Black Hispanics, Native Americans, and their interaction with Caucasians. So, Black Oni. The Black Oni obviously is the savior of the people. Let me see if I have a video that shows that Soki is supposed to be considered the savior of humanity.
Tenkai and old Juve, you stand in the way of our world domination. Such pests. Unless the Black Oni appears, you don't stand a chance.
Okay, if I put that, cool. If I didn't, Anyway, so why is he the Black Oni? Well, obviously black skin. So where's black skin? Revelation chapter 1 verse 14. You know what? I didn't write this in script. I'm just going for it. So Revelation chapter 1 verse 14, KJV. Ah, dang. Here we go. His head and his hairs were white, like wool as white as snow, and his eyes as a flame of fire. It is important to read this part slowly and with the brain, because some will say, hey, his head is white, like wool. Like, that's a weird description, because did you know that not all wool is white? And apparently there is snow in there, so they know what snow is. So why not just say his head was white as snow if they're talking about his face? Like, obviously. So in order to include wool, something that's not always white, then they must be talking about texture and not just skin color. So his head and his hairs, the hairs on his head and the hairs on his face were like wool and were white. And his feet like unto, verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. This is important because notice that brass is a singular word. Like, you know how there's some words that the singular and the plural are the same? Brass, I think it's brasses. But anyway, it says, as if they burnt in a furnace. Because the point is, if it meant the brass would be singular. So it says as if it was burnt in a furnace. But no, it is as if they burnt in a furnace. The only plural word in this verse is feet. So it's saying as if you burned feet in the fire, that's what his skin looked like. So the point is, his skin was black, as if you burned his skin in fire. He was burnt dark crispy. And the hairs on his head was like wool. That was white. So now we have our Black Oni with black skin, and his hair is white. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like the wool we're used to because this is a Japanese game. Wait a minute, did I get the flame of fire? Ah, there it is. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. That's verse 14. So the red eyes were in Onimusha 1 with Onimusha with the red eyes. But anyway, right now we've got our Black Oni with glowing eyes. He's not supposed to have glowing eyes in real life, but I'm not explaining Genesis chapter 49. If you know about Genesis chapter 49, then you know. But for now, we're fictionalizing reality. So as far as fictionalizing reality, the red eyes are not because his eyes were red with wine. They're going to be glowing red eyes because video game. Not reality, video game, okay? The video game version of red eyes would be glowing red eyes. Okay? Okay. Just so that we're all on the same page. Now, we have our Black Oni. The Black Oni is called the servant of the Lord of Darkness in the game. Why does that make sense? It makes sense because A, Lucifer, the white serpent, is calling himself the angel of light, i.e., the god of light. So obviously, he would call his enemy the Lord of Darkness.
There is one way I will let you live. Bow before me, the all-powerful god of light, and call my name. Oh, Black Oni, great champion of the god of darkness, kneel before the white serpent.
It would also make sense because throughout all games where Catholicism is the main bad guy, anyone who tries to stop Catholicism, because Catholicism is the work of the devil, they will always tell you that this revolutionary is the devil. Like, look at it every single time. They will say this person is serving witchcraft or whatever. I'm pretty sure there's a Bible verse about that too. But in any case, in this case, it is, since we know that the Gidma are the Europeans and that the Black Oni therefore will be against the Europeans, that would mean that the Europeans are saying that anything that goes against their rule is evil, racist, criminal, and whatever. So it would also make sense to call their enemies the servants of the Lord of Darkness, because Jesus Christ explicitly said that the descendants of Caucasians he is going to kill. That is Obadiah chapter 1 verse, let's start at 10. Come on, it's around here somewhere. 10, not on this one. 10, there we go, Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In case you didn't, oh, by the way, remember when I said that I spend a lot of time putting arguments because I know what people will say? Someone actually commented that the Edomites never explicitly participate in any violence. This is a verse that says you're wrong. The Edomites did participate in violence, specifically against their brother Jacob. Now, we said in the previous game, Jacob are the black specks Native Americans. So what's going to happen to these Edomites for the violence they committed against the black people? 18, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So Jesus Christ will be called the Lord of Darkness to Caucasians because he's coming to bring death and darkness upon them. So they are afraid of Jesus Christ. There's a verse in the New Testament that says something like God is the savior of life to life for us, but darkness and death to someone else. I'm not going to get that. Instead, I'm going to get explaining what darkness is. Let's see, Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14-15. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wastiness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So also, I understand that there are people who will say to me that the day of the Lord of being darkness is either figurative or literal. They will say it's one or the other to try to say that I'm wrong. But here's what you don't understand. I actually read the Bible. I know that it's figurative and literal, because they will literally be a day of darkness because there will be thick clouds and darkness, and it's a figurative day of darkness because darkness means something scary, destruction, and death to a normal person. So, no, your little thoughts about what you think you know of the Bible does not compare to how long I've studied specifically for the purpose of arguing with Christians. So what have we found out? The Black Oni of the game is based on Jesus Christ because A, he is the direct antithesis to Christianity. Jesus Christ is the direct antithesis, the enemy of Christianity. 2, as the Lord of the day of darkness, he is coming to bring darkness and destruction upon anyone who is in Christianity. And 3, he has black skin. Yes, because he came to save the slaves, who are the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and whatever other listing that I don't have so far, such as the Dalits, Zongzi, Kunlun. It's a long list of how many people Caucasians have enslaved, and all the people who were enslaved by the people who allied with the Caucasians. So Jesus Christ is coming to save the slaves. This is important if you want to see symbolism in other games, such as Dark Souls, where the Lord of Light, Gwyn, is afraid of the coming of a Dark Lord, because the Dark Lord is supposed to save the humans from Gwyn. Yes, this is where they get these ideas from. So that is all the symbolism from the Silky. Oh wait, there is one more symbolism, because I'll save that. In the next game, in Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, there was a Ginma sakura plant that, when it bloomed, turned all the people into Ginma. And the point of the Black Oni was to kill the Ginma, and anyone who accepted being Ginma along with them are going to die. Do I need to include that? No, what I am going to include today, though, is why the Ginma appear as undead monsters, where in the Bible that comes from. So we understand that the Japanese don't like religion, well, at least don't like Christianity, and see it as a religion of death. The Bible agrees with that wholeheartedly. So it is biblical that anyone who follows Christianity will remain in the congregation of the dead. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16, KJV. Where is it? I said 21. Delete that too. KJV. There it is. It says, "The man that wandered out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead." So whoever gave up their religion to join Caucasians will remain as people of the dead, which A, means that you're the devil. B, it means Jesus Christ is going to kill you. C, it means in the game we portray you as zombies or werewolves or any undead creature. So that is why in the game, anyone who followed the Caucasian rule ended up as zombies. These are all Japanese people who convert to Christianity. I think that is all the symbolism we are going to use as far as the Black Oni and the Day of Darkness. So in the next video, we're going to talk about Oda Nobunaga joining with the Ginma and Toyotomi Hideyoshi joining with the Ginma, and how that in fact is biblical. If you think that I'm wrong in what I said, go ahead and comment it. I will try to entertain you and show you that whatever your thought is, you're wrong. I had an entire 10 more minutes of video talking about how Christianity is the work of Satan, and how Jesus Christ says that the most popular religions in the world are the ones that he hates, and that many people will claim to be Christian, and Jesus will say, "Depart from me, you who break the commandments." I do need to include something. Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Why am I including that? I'm including that because in all games where Christianity is the devil, you'll find that anyone who tries to keep the commandments or try to learn history or try to go against the lies that Christianity gives, the enemy, the bad guy, whether it's Fortune Bras or Gwyn, will try to fight against that person. In the same token, I am telling you, In order to be saved by Jesus Christ, you must keep the commandments. The dragon, the devil, would immediately come and say, you do not have to keep the commandments. Jesus Christ died so that you don't have to keep the commandments. The commandments are too hard for you. That's why he did away with them. I find it odd that in 2,000 years, God was killing people for breaking these commandments, and you're telling me that finally he said, it's too hard for you, you should never have had to keep these, I'm doing away with it. That would make God evil. So either you're calling God the devil, or you're lying, or both. So that's why I had to pitch this, because now it causes you to question. If the devil wants you to break the commandments, and all Christian churches say we don't have to keep the commandments, then what is the church of Satan? That is why I'm doing this, because now when you look at these games, you see Fortune Bras as the serpent, you see the Caucasian man as a serpent. Now you understand that the Sakura plants turning all the people into Ginma is actually representation of the Christian church spreading its doctrine and turning everybody into Christian. Now you see this and you have a choice to say, are you going to be a Ginma in the real world? By the way, I realized I need to interject really quickly because I realized I did not show a singular verse that had both the day of the Lord and darkness in it to show that the day of the Lord is a day of darkness. That is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So what does that mean? First, it means yes, the day of the Lord is the day of darkness. So there's your Dark Souls reference. Second, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. What it means is you Christians who think I cannot wait for Jesus Christ to come, the Bible is asking, what profit is it for you when Christ comes? Because like all the other sinners, Christ is going to kill you too. Now, with that said, here's how you prove whether someone else's religion is right or not according to the Bible. If you ask a Christian, how do you prove that you love Jesus Christ and that your doctrine will get you into heaven? They will say, oh, you love God, but they don't explain what it means to love God. They say, oh, pray, but they don't explain how to make God hear your prayers. And if you ask them how to get into heaven, no one has an answer. I have an answer. Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. What this means is when you do the commandments, not only is it that it's a good thing to do according to the Bible, it is that you are almost guaranteed to get into the kingdom because you have a right, which means it belongs to you, to get the tree of life and it gets into the city. So if you try to follow the Christian doctrine of you don't have to keep the commandments, then you're leaving it up to chance whether or not you get into heaven. If you keep the commandments, then you have a right to heaven. I'd rather take the guarantee, wouldn't you? So that means since this is the last chapter of the last book of the Bible, this is the end of the story. So if there is any confusion about what you're supposed to do to make God love you, it is explained in this verse, keep the commandments. So the question you want to ask yourself is, knowing that the devil wants you to break the commandments, why is it that, knowing that the devil does not want you to keep the commandments, why is it that every Christian church says you don't have to keep the commandments? In fact, keeping the commandments is a sin. Why do they do that? Okay, now we get to move on and talk about how Oda Nobunaga siding with the Genma is equivalent to allowing Christianity to be spread in Japan and what this means biblically. Next time on Lamex Effects.